this is this is the FunSphere event. Obviously, all this is windows here. This area is entire just free space, and it's huge park. It's not a huge park. It's really not that big. It's one of the smallest amusement parks I've ever been to. Not the smallest, but it used to be next to Wet and Wild, which used to be called Hurricane Harbor. Now it's called something else, but it was next to the Wet and Wild Hurricane Harbor during the days in Arlington, Texas. There used to be a place called FunSphere. Now, this is laser tag. This place was laser tag event, and well, I wanted to make sure, because you'd be able to relate this video with Diana, Mickey, Frankie, and to verify to whatever is going on. We walk in there, and when they say this is like a Sunday, they particularly always went to church every Sunday, but this was like a Sunday or like a Monday or like an off day that there isn't going to be very many people. There was very little people when we went to FunSphere compared to what I thought. There was like 20 people in the entire park. It was weird. But we walk into this place, and there's like, I don't know, maybe 7 to 8, maybe 10 people in line. You know how they have these bars where you walk and you walk and you walk and you walk, and then you walk to the front desk and these people, whatever. Well, when we walked in, I stopped right here and I looked over at Diana and Mickey, and these people were signaling to Diana when we got in there. And they were telling Diana, and they were like, "Oh, but that's my son," yeah. And was like communicating with these people. And I'm not sure exactly what this situation was. I'm not sure exactly what this situation was, but I think it's important for me to talk about. I think it's important for me to talk about because they were engaged in their forgiveness of Diana, but Frankie and Mickey didn't know what's going on. There were a couple of white guys. Some of these people, I believe, knew what was going on because they staged the whole situation. They were particularly sort of acting very respectful and trying to gain in some sort of engagement with Frankie and me and Mickey, but particularly Frankie and me. That's exactly what they're doing. There was 2 to 3 employees here. One of them, with the managers, was directly. You could tell it was like a homosexual communication, LBGT community. You know, a fellow member. Oh, we just give you a little pat on the hand. The way that we ended up at FunSphere was Diana mysteriously. She said that she got 2 or 3 free tickets or something like that from somebody that someone gave her, and says, "Why don't you go take Mickey and a few of his friends or his friend with him to laser tag?" And that's what she did. When I think about what that situation was, I remember Diana sort of being nervous while we were driving, and I don't know what the situation was, but you know, you may be able to talk to these people. And so when this happened, Diana talks to Frankie and Mickey, and she then tells Mickey and says, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and just change my mind. I'm going to go ahead and do something else and leave you guys here, and I'm going to leave." And she left. And she left for the day. Something was very weird because, like, it wasn't part of the plan, and Diana could tell that the other people were negotiating, and they were sort of working out a plan against Frankie, and how I was basically like the protector or the observer. I was such a violent violation to these homosexuals. You got to realize that this is all about Michael Jackson. They want to protect their God. They want to protect their leader, the homosexual emotion, the homosexual movement, and the political poverty rises to this. But understand that they are doing this to Frankie, and I think it's important for me to talk about. Mickey was there, but I remember there was particularly one sort of chubby to one fat guy, blonde hair, blue eye guy. Once again, one of probably Ken Cooper supporters, you know, the white supremacist, was engaging to like Frankie and me. And I remember this, like the behavior of some of these people, and I remember looking at some of these people in the line. They were behaving in a way that was like engaging of it, not like there was no reason why. Like we're playing laser tag, they seemed to be sort of focused, and they knew who I was. And one of the guys that walked into the door, he was sort of this fat, white, chubby guy. When he walked through the door, he walked in sort of in a hurry, like he knew that we were there, and somebody called him and said, all right, they made it there. Okay, now go over there and see. I'm going to go and check them out. He walked in there with that, it wasn't relaxed. It wasn't like a normal vibe that you see family members move in to go have an event or anything like that. So it was very engaging. There was one white guy that showed up. So they were staging this to get away with it. There was team efforts that were doing this to Frankie. But I think it's important to understand, I believe that some of these people were, without a doubt, but that's nowhere to be proved. Some of this you'll be able to verify with Frankie and Mickey and Diana. And they were communicating directly with these homosexuals. And I remember directly looking, I think I was standing more closer to the door because I could visually look at these people very well, and I was looking back and forth at what these people were doing. There was no reason why they shouldn't have had any communication. And I remember looking, and I was like, what are they talking about? Like, because when you walk in, you shouldn't be communicating with somebody that far of a distance. You don't know. We're just customers, and we're Mexican. Everyone here, all these people were white, all of them. So I thought I'd make a video on this. Some of these employees had arranged this to set this up.